Hi, Robert. How are you, buddy? Happy Wednesday. I hope I get to see more pictures of your smiling face that your mom is posting. It's so nice to see you so happy. I wish I could see your smiling face in person, but it's looking like hopefully we'll be able to see each other kind of soon. That'll be fun to start getting into all of our arts and crafts again and all that good stuff. I just miss you so much, buddy. You're such a fun, amazing part of my life and my day. So I cannot wait till I can see you again. Let's get started, buddy, with Go Noodle Flow. Oops, I always forget to share the screen every single time. All right, there we go. There it is. It says hang tight. Here we go. Here we go. Melting, melting, melting.
Melting, melting, melting. We all have those moments when we freeze. We can't move. We can't think.
Yep.
But with practice, we can get good at melting that frozen feeling.
Very good at
Let's
doing that,
freeze
buddy.
up and then melt.
Remember, we
stand up in a
crisscross.
spot with a little space around you. Cross your arms and hold your shoulders with your hands. Carefully
Crisscross.
tuck your chin down and in.
Very
Tighten
good.
as many muscles in your body as you can. Let your body be frozen,
All
like an
those
ice
muscles
statue.
frozen with your arms crisscrossed
Feet
by your
tight,
shoulders.
legs tense,
Very
belly
good.
tight,
Belly
shoulders up.
Very
Now,
good.
even make a frozen face.
We always make a funny
Close
face.
your eyes.
Both times.
Your mouth,
Close those
your
eyes.
jaw, tight.
Your whole face.
Feeling frozen? Really still?
Very still. You're very
Now,
good at
little
this
by
part.
little, begin to melt.
Now start
Let your
to
chin
loosen up.
stay low as your
Keep that
face
chin tucked.
softens and melts. Your jaw opens slightly. Your eyes blink open. Just a little. Your
Yeah.
mouth and cheeks
Start to
melt
rub here.
and feel soft. You're melting.
Very good.
Let your shoulders melt and go down. Hands let go. Arms glide down to your
That's the big one
sides.
for us, our arms.
Melting.
Let them get all melty.
Let your legs melt too.
Down all the
Soften
way down
and
to those
bend.
toes.
Melt. Try to
Perfect.
melt
You
all
can
the
see
way
the
to
little
the
man
floor.
on the screen melting all the way down.
Down. Let yourself be a blob, a puddle on the floor.
In our chair. That's what we do.
Melted all the way to soft.
Perfect. I'm feeling pretty
Exhale.
loosey-goosey.
Once frozen and tight,
And
now
melted.
melted, a little more at ease. Let's
Get
do it
ready to
again.
do it one more time, buddy.
This time, choose your own frozen statue.
We usually still
Be creative.
crisscross, but then we
Freeze your
definitely make
arms.
that funny.
Freeze your legs. Freeze your face. Make a funny face if you'd like.
You make a silly
Freeze
face.
there. Tighten.
Keep
Freeze,
squeezing.
freeze, freeze.
Crisscross
You're
those arms
frozen.
and squeeze.
Close
You're
your
usually
eyes.
making us
Or
laugh
keep
by
them
this
open.
time.
Stay frozen for
Good
just
job,
one
bud.
more moment.
Awesome sauce.
Ready to melt?
Now start
One
to get all
icy part of
melty.
you at a time begins to melt. Face, eyes, jaw,
Yes.
head, chin goes down, shoulders drop, fingers soften and droop, hands too, arms float down. You are melting.
Melting.
Let your
melting,
legs allow
melting.
you to melt down to the floor.
Very good. Get
Melt,
those arms
melt,
melty.
Melt, droop, settle, and rest.
Now we're going to double check
Melted.
those arms.
Try to feel at ease here.
Get ready to double check those
Soft.
arms.
Check in on your body. Is
Remember,
any
we
area
need
still
our arms
frozen?
so that we can push our switch when
Notice
it's
that
time.
tightness.
Maybe I'll
Melted if
ask
you
for a
wish.
video of that. I would love to see you doing that.
Rest here. Breathe.
Perfect.
Eyes are open or
Or
closed.
closed. When we're open
Next time
or
you feel
closed.
frozen, in your mind or in your body, try to melt it away.
Perfect. I hope you're feeling a little more relaxed now, buddy. Perfect. Beginning is done. I'll leave here. All right. I hope you're feeling a little more loose, a little more ready for school. The next thing we're going to do is our numbers and letters, buddy. We're going to start with our numbers. And my very favorite thing to say is that we know there is only one Robert Bursey, only one. And he has one heart, the biggest heart we know, one nose, and one mouth. The number 1. Oop, it's a little silly looking. 1. 2. You have 2 hands. You have 2 feet. You have 2 eyes. You have 2 ears. You have 2 lungs that help you breathe. 1 and 2. The silly one, number 3. You don't have 3 of anything because you're not an alien. 1, 2, 3. Very good. We should maybe get a picture of an alien on there for tomorrow. And 3. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Nothing of 3 on you, sir, because you are not an alien. Number 4. And if we add things together, we get 4. Our hand and our hand plus our feet and our feet gives us 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then our favorite one, 5, because we get to give a high 5, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. 5. Make sure you give your mom a high 5. And now for when I sound super silly, when I say and make the sounds of the letters in your name for R, R, R. R for Robert. R, R, R. That's an R that starts your name. Ah, 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 ah. In Ra, ah, Albert. That's an O. Ah, 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 O. Next one is the B, B, B sound. In Ra, ah, ah, B, 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 ert. Rob-ert. That's a B. R-O-B. And remember, this one is silly because the E makes the sound, but it doesn't really make sense. So we put the R and it's in Rob-ert. So the E and the R together make Rob-er. And then our last one is T. Robert. T. R-O-B-E-R-T. R-O-B-E-R-T. That's for our friend Robert. Awesome, buddy. Okay, next up, let's do When the Band Comes Marching In. Gonna get right to it. This song, I will tell you, has been stuck in my head since we started listening to it. All day long, I whistle it all day long. I think the people that I live with, it's driving them crazy because all I do is whistle this song. So let's get to it.
When the drum comes marching in, oh, when the drum comes marching in, it goes. When the drum comes marching in, oh, when the tuba comes marching in, oh, when the tuba comes marching in, it goes. When the tuba comes marching in, oh, when the trumpet comes marching in, oh, when the trumpet comes marching in, it goes. When the trumpet comes marching in, oh, when the trombone comes marching in, oh, when the trombone comes marching in, it goes. When the trombone comes marching in, oh, when the clarinet comes marching in, oh, when the clarinet comes marching in, it goes. When the clarinet comes marching in, oh, when the flute comes marching in, oh, when the flute comes marching in, it goes. comes marching in. Oh, when the cymbal comes marching in. Oh, when the cymbal comes marching in. It goes. When the cymbal comes marching in. Oh, when the band comes marching in. Oh, when the band comes marching in. It goes. When the band comes marching in. When the band comes marching
Yay, that song that's forever stuck in my brain, but it's a good thing because it's a good one. So let's get rid of this before a new one comes on. Excellent. So the next one is actually one that I am going to read to you because I know I haven't read a story to you like all week. So let's get started. This one is about, our instrument today is about a harmonica. And a harmonica is a pretty cool musical instrument. I'm going to upload a video of someone playing the harmonica, but not the person I want. My dad, actually, you'll get to see a video of him soon. He's really good at playing the harmonica, but he's out of town. But he will be making a video for you very soon. But let's listen to the story about a harmonica. I think you'll like the sound. Called Lentil by Robert McCloskey. In the town of Alto, Ohio, there lived a boy named Lentil. Lentil had a happy life except for one thing. He wanted to sing and he couldn't. It was most embarrassing when he opened his mouth to try. Only a strange sound came out. Arrgh. He couldn't even whistle because he couldn't pucker his lips. But he did want to make music, so he saved up enough pennies to buy a harmonica. Lentil was proud of his new harmonica and he decided to become an expert. So he played a lot whenever and wherever he could. His favorite place to practice was in the bathtub because there was the tone was improved 100%. He used to play almost all the way to school, down Vine Street to the corner of Main, past the finest house in Alto, which belonged to the great Colonel Carter. Then, past the drugstore, the barber shop, and the Alto Library, which was a gift of the great Colonel Carter. All the way by the church, through the center of Memorial Park and around the Soldiers and Sailors Monument that the Colonel had built there. Then Lentil would stuff his harmonica into his pocket and take a shortcut up the alley behind the hardware store so he would not be late for school. People would smile and wave hello to Lentil as he walked down the street because everyone in Alto liked Lentil's music. That is, everybody but Old Sneap. Old Sneap didn't like much of anything or anybody. He just sat on a park bench and whittled and grumbled. One day, the news got around that the great Colonel Carter, who had been away for 2 years, was coming home. People began to plan a grand welcome, but when old Sneap heard of the news, he said, "Humph, we was boys together. We ain't a mite better. You or me needs talking down a peg or two." Sneap just kept right on whittling, but everybody else kept right on planning. Colonel Carter was the town's most important citizen. So let's see. The people hung signs and flags that decorated the streets. The mayor prepared a speech, and the alto bass brass band had their new uniforms, and their printer, the grocer, the plumber, the minister, and the barber, the druggist, the iceman, the school teachers, and the housewives, and hundreds of children. Yes. The train pulled in. The musicians in the band were waiting for the leader to signal them to play. The leader was waiting for the mayor to nod at him to start the band, and the mayor was waiting for Colonel Carter to step from his private car. All the people held their breath and waited. There sat old Sneap. Old Sneap knew that when the musicians looked at him, their mouths would pucker up so they could not play their horns. The whole band looked up at old Sneap. The mayor gave the signal to play, but the cornist couldn't play the cornet. The piccolo player couldn't play the piccolo. Slurp. The trombone player couldn't play the trombone, and the tuba player couldn't play his tuba because their lips were puckered up. Slish. They couldn't play a single note. The musicians just stood there holding their instruments, looking up at Sneap, sucking on the lemon. The leader looked helpless. The people were too surprised to mope or say anything. And the mayor wrung his hands and wore a look that said, "Can't somebody do something, please?" As Colonel Carter stepped from his car, the only sound was the noise of Sneap's lemon. Slurp. Clouds began to gather on the colonel's brow, and he said, "Humph," in an indignant sort of way. Of course, Lentil's lips were not puckered, and he knew that something had to be done. So he took out his harmonica and started to play "Comin' Round the Mountain When She Comes." When Lentil began to play the second chorus, Colonel Carter smiled. Then he let out a chuckle and began to sing, "Driving 6 white horses when she comes." Then everybody sang, and they all marched down Main Street behind the colonel's car. Lentil rode with the colonel, who took a turn at the harmonica when Lentil's wind began to give out. He said that he hadn't played one since he was a boy, and he did very well considering. They marched to the colonel's house and paraded through the gate and onto the front lawn. The mayor's committee served ice cream cones to all the citizens, and Colonel Carter made a speech saying how happy he was about such a fine welcome and how happy he was to be home again. When he said that he was going to build a new hospital for the town of Alto, everybody was happy. Even old Sneap. So you never can tell what will happen when you learn to play a harmonica. So Lentil's whole life changed because he learned how to play a harmonica. How cool is that? Pretty cool, right? His whole stinking life changed. Well, I hope that you enjoy the next video. Like I said, it's going to be a YouTube video of someone playing the harmonica. Not my dad yet, but he's brushing up his skills to play the harmonica for you very soon when he gets back. So I miss you terribly, buddy, and I know you know that, but I feel like I have to say it every time because I miss seeing your wonderful smile every single day. I hope you have a really good day, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.